This is Vejle. I have your host championships in Canada so far. It's been quite difficult. 0 win and 2 losses. Australia yesterday. Today, this morning, earlier here in Denmark, loss against Japan. Now game 3, and Canada will need this victory to hopefully qualify for the final. Alors, c'est la troisième match pour l'équipe canadienne. L'équipe canadienne affronte la Colombie jusqu'à présent. C'est un défi. Le Canada a des 2 défis, malheureusement. Hier, contre l'équipe coriace. Et ce matin, ici au Danemark, le Canada est parti en 52. Le Canada doit de la Colombie pour espérer se qualifier au quart de finale qui auront lieu un peu plus tard, vendredi cette semaine. Et comme je ne parle pas très fort, ce sera les hymnes nationaux. Bien sûr, on entend les hymnes nationales de la Colombie. Maintenant, bien sûr, notre hymne national. It is our beautiful national. I'm not hear it as well as I can. Hopefully you can, because our national. This is it, Canada. It's time to shine. Here at the 2000 World Cup, quarters of 8 minutes. Canada, traditionally, they do quite well in Colombia, so we have a good chance. After this match, 2 more games for Team Canada, one against Brazil tomorrow morning, and also against the host nation. This will complete the round robin tournament. And the objective is to qualify for the quarterfinals that will happen on Friday. So the first 8 teams of 12 nations competing. So you're watching the Paralympic Super Series, Wheelchair Rugby World Championships in Denmark. And let's go to the court, and we will be back at the intermission after the first quarter.
Colombia versus Canada. This is a pool play game. Both teams have high expectations here. Canada has had some very close matches, tough losses. Colombia also, actually, Colombia beat Brazil today, although, was that today or was that yesterday? Boy, they're all running together.
I think it might have been yesterday.
Yeah, today Colombia played Denmark. You and I worked that game.
Yeah, great game that, wasn't it?
Yeah, Colombia ran with Denmark for 3 quarters. It was neck and neck all the way, and they put on a great showing. And I know they had an injury to Orozco's right arm, the shorter one that's taped up. Hopefully that's been taken care of. I wasn't able to get any information about it, so I failed on my promise to find out. But I did notice he was not warming up with the team, at least for most of the time.
Yeah, we were really impressed with Colombia earlier, weren't we?
Yeah, they really had a great match. So impressed that we gave man of the match to the losing team, one of the players on the losing team. So here we go. We're going to see 4 familiar faces from that team. If you joined us in the earlier game, Charlie Neme, number 7. Vargas. Julian Vargas. He's number 11. 4 is Orozco. He'll take the tip. And Rodriguez, number 10, to round them out. From Canada, you'll see Travis Morau, number 2. Cody Caldwell, number 9. Zach Medell, number 33. and Eric Rodriguez rounds them out at 41. Rodriguez working against Orozco. He and Medell will see a lot of each other in this one.
Yeah, that matchup will be really interesting.
Corner opened up there. Nice job. Rodriguez and Vargas did that kind of together.
See Zach Medell on display there, number 33. One of the very best players in our game.
Certainly one of the fastest, too. Neme unable to get in his way.
He always looks in such great control, doesn't he, Zach?
He does. So Vargas will take it up court. He's tripled. And Neme unable to feel like he has a clean pass to Orozco, and the defense of Canada causes them to have to call timeout before they cross half. That's a win for Canada. Right, they made him use a timeout here in the first minute of play. Oh wait, did they not get the timeout? That's a turnover.
Yeah, I think they got called for the 12 seconds.
I was mistaken. I know he tried to call timeout, but he must have been too late.
It was a great press by Canada. They kind of hunted in packs together.
Vargas not looking for the pass. Hopefully there's enough under that he can get there, and there is. Really good job there by Orozco to give enough loft on that ball so it wasn't coming too fast, because Vargas didn't notice it until it was already beyond him. So Caldwell looking to duck under Rodriguez, turns around, gives it back to Medell, and we probably won't see it leave the lap of Medell once he gets it. Not that he can't pass, but if you don't have to, why would you?
Yeah, less risk.
Neme into Vargas. He's got two pickers.
Nice move there from
Travis
Vargas.
Morao pretty nicely. And he looks like he's a little faster than Morao. Orozco making sure that he goes through untouched. And we're tied up. So the early defensive success of Canada wasn't repeated yet.
Nice pick there from Travis Morao.
So far, the difference in this one to me is that Canada seems to be able to score at will, whereas Colombia's having to work to get across half. And now Vargas double team, gets rid of it. And that due to good low point play. The low pointers couldn't help him anymore, so they decided to switch and help Orozco by going after Medell, and they did just that. Now Colombia working on the key as Canada drops into it. Oh, intercepted, but Medell, without fingers, unable to grab that one out of the air.
Really focused and strong start here from Canada.
We are all quads out here, right? We all have deficiencies in our limbs. Medell with full trunk, but, well, I don't want to make that assumption, but he has great trunk, but not the finger function.
Cody Caldwell spreading the court here.
Forcing Orozco to stay long. And Letourneau gets it over the top.
Nice pass.
Anthony Letourneau getting his first minutes of this game, number 21.
Incredible range on that pass. I mean, that was just
Yeah.
a left-handed kind of sideways pass, and he's thrown that near enough half the court.
It's interesting how it's almost like a chest pass when he throws a pass like that.
Yeah. There's not many people in the game with the dynamism of passes that he has, is there?
No. Well, I guess, having one full arm, that arm's going to be strong because you use it for everything. So trying to get this quick give and go in here to Vargas, he does. And now ducking underneath the pick. Vargas is going to meet Adele yet again. Oh, and Orozco picks it up. And unfortunately for Colombia, he made some aggression in the wrong direction, which will now cause us to stop the play. He was hoping to score that while Vargas was lying on the ground, but because this ball wasn't advancing toward the try line, they'll call equipment and let that go. The same thing would happen as if a defensive player had called equipment. You only call it if the play stops advancing toward the try line.
See the volunteer coming on there, sweeping the court just to make sure there's no sweat on the floor.
Even the guys that don't sweat, a lot of us use a spray bottle to give ourselves artificial perspiration, so we can be wet even if we're not sweating. So Canada leading 6-4. One turnover. Is it 2? Oh, because Colombia scored the first try, right. So yeah, 2 turnovers. Caldwell trying to beat Neme, struggling. So he went to his
Good
help.
Defense from
Letourneau can't get to it, and now Colombia will get a turnover.
You have to think that Neme kind of made that one happen, kind of defending Cody, the 2-pointer there for a while.
Yep, he forced him to pass. He wasn't going to get across by himself, but then Caldwell went to his help, so he was able to head toward the line. He had Medell in front of him, etc. But an errant pass all started based on the defense of a 1. Across goes Orozco, beating Caldwell. And he's got Vargas up, but he overthrew it. I think he was expecting Vargas to continue through, whereas Vargas felt like he was getting close to that corner, didn't want to keep going. So turnover, as they say. And you have 40 seconds to try and score that. There's no reason to be in a hurry. Coach yelling, tranquilo. I don't know that he's saying that. I'm just guessing. It's one of the few Spanish words I know. I take that back. I probably know 200 words, but forming a sentence, that's a challenge in its own. So, again, Neme looking at Vargas, and Orozco evaluating the situation to see if he needs to help or if he can go down court. Letourneau trying to work around the pick. Neme helps him. And up to Rodriguez, who was waiting in the corner. And that's a play he stole right out of the Canadian playbook.
Colombia doing a really good job of changing the matchups when they're on offense.
Caldwell with the ball again. Neme pestering him. Medell beats Orozco.
Nice little fake there from Zach. He kind of faked to go left and then he went right, and Orozco bought it.
Either one of those guys is really hard to stop one-on-one, no matter who you are. But Orozco rightly will wait for his pick, help him get out, and that's exactly what happens. And Gonzalez again, I'm sorry, not Gonzalez, Rodriguez will take that one across. So he's sitting up there for a cherry pick, and it's working for him. He's got to learn how to work the give and go, though. I've worked on that play with the Canadians before, trying to put enough pressure on the low pointer that the high pointer can't get the ball into him cleanly. And timeout has to be called because of the 12 seconds. You see the shot clock got down to 20. Well, you can't see it, but we can see the shot clock down at 27. So he was right to call that.
Zach looked a little bit aggrieved at one point there, didn't he? I think he thought he drew contact from Orozco, but the referee didn't give it, so they've had to use the timeout.
Not a bad spend of a timeout, but that's the first timeout used. Colombia down 1, but up 1 in the timeout department. Not that that means anything when you're done on the court, but it'll certainly help them while we're playing. Letourneau gets it in to Medel, and we will start with the attack of the Colombian key. And the Colombians are looking at their bench. Hopefully they're not caught off guard here. And now the referee blows the whistle because the shot clock didn't reset? I'm guessing. Yeah, the shot clock was at 20. There's no way that should be right. Unless, well, maybe it was. Maybe they stopped for another reason. He is saying 5.
Has to be reset, right? Because I think it was at 29 when Zach called the timeout.
It said 27. Remember, because it was 13 seconds expired on the 12-second clock.
Right.
There we go. It was 27, but now it's rolling again. You have to stop it at 27, guys. Yeah, they must have not started the shot clock because it was down at 20 and they'd been on the court for far more than the number of seconds that it ticked off. (28, 27). There we go. Okay. So again, Letourneau will inbound to Medel. Along with Caldwell and Rodriguez, attack the key of Colombia. Vargas, good not to get trapped there. 2 ball options there for Medel. He wasn't able to get to either, but Caldwell picks up the loose ball. Can't get to the corner. And Neme pounded across the line by Medel. So Colombia will be shorthanded here.
Yeah, good play from Zach there. Canada struggling to score. And just knocked Neme over the line, giving them a full reset and the 4-on-3 play.
Yeah, that's the biggest win here, right? Of course they get an easy in, but to get 40 more seconds, they were running out of time. Medel will get close and probably look for some help there to, nope, they don't want to keep him in there because actually he's going to inbound anyway. There's no point sending somebody over there. So this time Vargas has a picker, but Rodriguez takes the give and go. Neme working his way up court. He's got Roscoe, who fires it to Vargas. Now back in the sure hand of Roscoe. Nice corner there by Neme, letting him through. The Colombian bench celebrating that one. That was a good play. And Rodriguez now.
I feel like Canada could utilize their 0.5 player, Eric Rodriguez, a little bit better, you know, picking up Neme when he comes on the court, because he's the one causing all the damage.
He is. Well, it's interesting. I've got Rodriguez covering Rodriguez down here in the low point battle.
See here we have Rodriguez going up to Orozco. And he really needs to be picking up Neme when he comes on.
Well, maybe we should have a conversation with Coach Patrick Cote. Nice little move there by Vargas. And again, Neme opening up that corner. Neme, man of the match in an earlier game. I think game I actually called, the Denmark game.
Nice
Not the Denmark game, it was the Brazil game.
Nice pass there from Cody Caldwell. He's got a really good right-handed pass. He can get that off really quickly. You know, for a two-pointer to be able to have that kind of pass, the dynamism that he has is really useful.
So Neme looking for Vargas. Double teamed. Orozco's not going to get down there. Wow. Pass tipped out by Cody Caldwell. And it'll be Medell who gets the ball, gives it to Letourneau. Now it's back. So another Colombian turnover. Let's see if Canada can turn this into a try. And that they do. 12-9 will be our score with only 1:49 left in the first. Canada showing good composure, showing you why they've attended every World Championship. They have 5 World Championship medals. USA, the only team that has more, they have 7. Although USA lost to France today in a heck of a game by 1 try.
Maybe the upset of the tournament so far, that, would you say?
So far, yeah. I mean, we had near upsets, right? We had Denmark, Japan, which went to overtime, and that could have gone either way. He can't come over here yet. It's not time to pick man of the match or player of the game. Rugby has burned that into my brain. Into Rodriguez, Letourneau now with the pick. Caldwell now has to face Orozco, but Neme got his hand in there, couldn't get the ball though out of Medell's lap.
I think Zach was thinking about backing out there and going for the goal between 50 and 55 seconds, but I think he thought better of it.
Colombia forced to use their first timeout. So Neme unable to inbound there. Gets himself from a turnover by using that timeout. He was close to 10.
So we'll probably see Canada trying to score in that time stamp now, between 50 and 55 seconds.
Colombia, right? That's what you meant?
Yes, sorry.
I thought that may be what you meant. So Rodriguez trying to help out, but they have him double teamed so that he can't set a pick. And now we have a crisscross, pick and roll kind of situation, where one player screens the other so that one gets free, and that worked. And now Vargas, this time he knows the ball is coming, and he's going to slow it down a little bit, but not enough. 1:03 left on the game clock. 13-11, Canada leads.
Zach actually pushed him over the line there, didn't he, just to make sure that Canada were going to be able to score this goal.
And notice Caldwell scores quickly now, 53 seconds. That's basically where they wanted to score before. And an easy inbound there to Orozco. Neme did a great job coming back to the play there. And now it looks like he's the one with the flat. So they'll grab him a new wheel. And someone will change out that tube. Colombia had 12 flat tires in the last game against Denmark.
I think that's a record that I've seen this week.
For the week, I would say yes. Probably not the record ever. I went through 4 tires in a game one time.
Expensive game.
I think it was a bad batch because the sidewalls would blow out. And I don't know if it's because of how they were being pressured or that guy's picker is not a good, you know. You always wonder if somebody sharpened their picker when they're popping your tires left and right. But I wouldn't say that anybody had. I think it was just a bad batch of tires because they all were popping on the sidewall.
Right.
And then, of course, the tubes would pop because nobody noticed that the tire had a hole in it. So I went through a lot of tubes. Neme just trying to make sure he doesn't cross half. That was a great heads-up play. And notice that Vargas gets the ball, and Orozco is then let away.
In some trouble here, just 5 seconds left.
He's trying to get the ball at the line. He's not going to do anybody any good if he's near that half-court line, because that's where he got in trouble before. So he and Neme got to figure out how to get together and get a pick in so he can get that ball closer toward the try line and get some help from Vargas. So Neme now inbounding. Canada choosing to drop into the key. They got what they needed. They slowed him down and they forced him to use a timeout. So Colombia now with the use of 2 timeouts in the span of about 2 minutes, maybe a minute. 4 seconds left. Orozco running out of time. He's got Neme backing across. Wow. And they gave him the try before it was swatted out of his lap. He had control when he crossed. And Canada disagrees, but the try is called. And now the referee is going to have a conversation about it.
Letourneau was remonstrating to the referee there, wasn't he?
Yeah, Coach Cote was with his hands indicating that he thought that wasn't good either. And now he...
To a century of growing together and knowing the next 100 can be even better.
Great start for Team Canada, 14-12, 2 points in advance of Colombia after the first quarter. If you've been watching the Paralympic Super Series over the past 48 hours, the first quarter has been quite difficult for Canada. So the fact that they're leading, it's a good sign because they've been finishing their match quite well. And it's not an easy task to get many turnover against the Canadian team. So let's see if Canada can keep the momentum for the next 24 minutes. Alors c'est finalement un bon début de match pour l'équipe canadienne. Une avance de 2 points, 14-12 contre l'équipe de la Colombie. Souvenons-nous, contre l'Australie et le Japon, ça a été extrêmement difficile lors des 5 premières minutes de jeu. Alors de savoir que l'équipe canadienne s'est repris lors de ce premier quart, c'est de bon augure pour la suite. Let's go back to the court and see that second quarter. 14-12, you're watching the Paralympic Super Series presented by Canadian Tire Sport Analytics.
This is probably one of Canada's best lines, particularly offensively. I'd be very surprised if this line gives any turnovers away. And expect these guys to pick up Neme a bit more as well.
And interestingly enough, Whitehead plays in the U.S. too. I was talking to him at the tournament one time, and he said that he runs 24s.
Yes, I believe that's a recent change.
Yeah, because they researched, when you push and how long you push and everything, and he said that most of that happens, you push no more than like 6 meters. Most of your sprints are shorter than 6 meters. Like, wow. Like you're back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You're going to get up to the top speed that you need. You're going to get to that place you need to get to faster on 24s than you will on 25. So
he does make those wheels look small, though, doesn't he, Whitehead?
He does. He He sits up a little high in his chair anyway.
He's a giant.
But he's a big man. And much leaner than when, I remember him at least earlier in his career. And is it Medel that's going to get that? He's trying to demonstrate, no, I have the ball, but the referee's not going to change your mind.
It looked initially like a jump ball to me. Just the left hand of Zach getting in there, but.
Well, you know as well as anybody, all you have to do is lift up your forearm and you can create that contact that causes the defender to end up in the box.
A lot of it depends on when the referee gets to that perfect view as well of the ball.
Right, because now if somebody gets in there for the jump and they'll try and get into position, you have plenty of opportunity to move your arms around and try and show her that, there's contact, look at this. So, try scored for Colombia. And now Medel has to inbound.
This is a good situation for Colombia.
And if Whitehead can't get closer, he's going to have to call timeout. Because Hirschfield's not going to have any luck catching that ball. Not with the double team.
You can see the Colombia coach buzzing about that press from his team.
Yeah, good defensive stand. Forcing Canada to use another timeout. That's both teams now have used 2. But our score is still 15-13 Canada with the advantage. And now Colombia recognizes that since Medel doesn't have to inbound, he won't. So they'll drop back into their key. And tightly grouped are the Colombians in the key. Rodriguez does a nice job there of getting to Whitehead so that he can't get to the middle. That's his job, is keep that guy out of the middle. And now Vargas has to cover. 4 in the key. Orozco touched the line with his tire, and he will go into the sin bin. So Colombia there standing strong, but 4 in the key is your nemesis in that situation.
They did quite a good job for the first 15 seconds there of, keeping the center of that key all clogged up.
Well, and Orozco's the middle guy. He was in the key when he started. He came out to be aggressive and somebody else slipped in. Rodriguez had been playing the chaser out front when the key started. And now the double team on Medel. In fact, they're not double teaming Medel. Rodriguez is trying to take him himself, and it's because they're on defense, not offense. Neme in trouble, tries to toss it up. Medel knocked it down right into his own lap. So Whitehead trying to come around the corner.
Brilliant defense there from Trevor and Zach. They got Neme facing into the corner, and those passes are so difficult when you've got no vision.
Yeah, that probably should have called timeout in that situation, but he knows they've only got 2. They used 2 real quick at the end of the last quarter. And it'll be Rodriguez running over the ball. T-bone into Whitehead.
And Trevor there is line trapped. He's got out of it now.
Whitehead going the long way around, but he made it across just barely. He only had a second left. And now he'll give it back to his number 1. Whitehead really needs to get in front of Vargas. Now he's got the middle of the key. So Medel's going to come to this side. Now Whitehead out again, going back to the other corner. Medel needs some help. He sees Whitehead, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get to him. And we have timeout called by Rodriguez. He was 10 in the key. That was what he called it for, so he could avoid that. So Canada unable to convert on that play, but they'll have another 15 seconds.
And we're seeing that key defense.
Wait a minute, what happened there? The shot clock was at 40. Okay, yeah, now it's at 15. So substitutions and more experience coming on for Canada. Lavoie, number 11, and Dagenet, 12. Pico Dagenet, one heck of a one. Lavoie, no slouch himself. Colombia fighting hard. Lavoie gets it over the top of Orozco. He got a little touch on it, but not enough to stop the play. Fabien Lavoie with the try. Orozco inbounding, and he calls timeout. I think that was probably a good call, don't you think?
Yeah. You know, any time that the 3.5 player has to inbound, it means there's not a lot of points on the court. So, you know, they're kind of short-handed. I think Zach was marking Neme there, a one-pointer. So
yeah, it's easier to cover those other three when the highest point player is off on the side trying to inbound. So now Neme will inbound, which is a more natural situation for this team. And Vargas will follow his two pickers. This time it's Uriel Rodriguez. And a spin called on Neme. And that'll be a turnover. He's not happy with that call. It's Lavoie. Not a surprise to see him on the floor. He's on the floor a lot. He's very quick. He flies up and down the court, and he ends up on his back a lot. At one time, widely considered to be the fastest player in the league.
yeah, he's got some serious pace when he gets going, isn't he? I'm sure we'll see that soon.
He has 4 kids, I just found out this week. I didn't realize he had 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's a handful. My wife would kill me if I was gone all the time training and playing rugby with 4 kids. It's bad enough with 1 coming out to commentate for a week. Probably going to pay for that one. Wow, that Vargas was going backward, and we all know that when you throw a pass when you're going backward, you're going to short it, and that's exactly what happened. Didn't have enough mustard on it to get to where Orozco could grab it with his one hand.
Canada really turning up the defense, although that one was a mistake. They weren't in a great position even before that, so.
Well, you get into those positions, you know, you are forced to make a pass like that because the defense is putting you in a position where you can't do what you want to do. Neme holding that corner well. Yeah. Vargas, no match for Medell, but he's certainly trying.
Timeout. He's called timeout. 2 people called. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you had Dagenet trapped in the key. He was calling for it. No try. We got a timeout. Medell's like, what are you doing? Why'd you call that? But
that key defense
Pico
seems to really be working, doesn't it?
He wouldn't have made it. Yeah, you know what? It's turned out to be a strong key, but you know the problem is that they've made a couple of mistakes that have taken away those opportunities that they could have created a turnover with their key defense. Getting hit from behind, knocked across the line, and you know, things like that. Those are situations where you can work really hard for 38 seconds, but if you get knocked across that line, you don't get that turnover for 40. And I think somebody forgot to turn the music off. Vargas catches it just as he crosses. That one wasn't too hot. That was good. He had an opportunity to catch it. Credit Orozco for the pass and Vargas for being in the place to catch it. And Canada takes it right back. Lavoie, number 11.
Lovely vision from Medell there.
Dagenet working on Orozco. Vargas hit hard, but able to stay on the court. And he's got Neme leading him out. Rodriguez getting rid of Lavoie. 11. Vargas now gives it up to his number 1. Vargas in the key a long time, as is Neme. Carrasco almost put Neme across the line there. Good for Charlie to hang on to his chair and make sure that his number 7 wasn't the first one across. Adele looking for somebody to pass to, opts to take it himself, and now it's just Rodriguez between him and the try line. 22-16 our score. 3:29 left in the first half.
Canada out of all of their timeouts.
France, New Zealand, Japan, Brazil, all sitting on the sidelines watching. I think Canada still has to play New Zealand. And Orozco will get the try. Lavoie.
Lovely pick
Neme
there
in
from
his
Zach.
face. Canada does not play New Zealand. They're not in their pool.
As so often we see there, Neme ushering Vargas out the half.
Nothing like a good lead block.
We take them for granted, don't we?
Oh, I don't. I am too slow a high pointer to take any low pointer for granted. Bedell just using sheer power to get around that corner. Makes it look easy. Lavoie keeping Rodriguez out of the play. Although now if Orozco sees it, he can hit Rodriguez up top. Lavoie trying to make sure that can't happen. Vargas unable to catch that one, came to a complete stop, making that a little bit harder. So Canada will take over once again. Try and make this a 7-point difference.
When we were watching them this morning, all those passes seemed to be getting made, didn't they? You know, particularly in those first 3 quarters. But I just wonder if the long day, you know, the tiredness of playing basically a full game earlier is perhaps catching up with them a bit.
Could be, and some of it could be the opponent. Some of it, you know, there's all kinds of possibilities. You know, they were really up for that game. I'm sure they were up for this one, but I think staying in it so tightly in the first quarter and then in the second quarter made the third quarter seem like, you know, they felt like they deserved to be where they were, and they earned it, no question.
Really close to the 12-second count there, but they just made it out.
Made it. That's why it's 12 and not 10, I guess. I've heard people say they want it to be 10 or 8. But I know,
really?
I know in D2 there are teams that we can play, and there are teams that can play us, where we'd be lucky to cross half, let alone score in a quarter if it was 8. We've held teams to 1 or 2 tries at 12 seconds, so, but that's just a mismatch, right? I don't know. You know, you look at this, teams sometimes can struggle to get across in 12. What would happen if we had that many turnovers? Would it just make games more lopsided for teams that are already not equal? Or would it make the game better? That's what I worry about. Is I don't want to see the blowouts get to be more blown out.
And you wouldn't be able to see like the mid-pointers really carrying the ball out in the backcourt either.
You know, I watched a game in China at the Paralympics where U.S. played Canada, and there was one quarter where Canada was attacking the U.S. key on one play for 5 or 6 minutes. They just kept trying to attack the key and could not get in. I don't know that there were 6 tries in the whole quarter. And it was brutal to watch. And that was part of the beginning of the 40-second shot clock. You know, people were complaining. You'd see somebody, it'd be 4 minutes left in the game, and they're just winding the clock down. They're just wasting time, wasting time. Teams would just waste time because they were ahead, and you know, you just wanted the game to get over. You don't want to give the other team an opportunity to score and catch up. But that's not what Canada was doing in that game. They were aggressively attacking the key, and they would drop out and run another play, and drop out, run another play. Roscoe got his hand on that one, but got to Medell.
Canada get the try exactly when they want it at 54 seconds. So they'll just be looking to try not to let Colombia score too quickly here. Or get a turnover, ideally.
Roscoe got across half easier than he has in quite a while. And he's trying to score quick, but that didn't happen. So now what will his thinking be? Will he try and waste some time, or will they just try and get it across? I guess they've answered our question. 27-21, Canada in the lead. 24 seconds left, no shot clock.
Lovely pick there from Rodriguez.
Yeah, Eric Rodriguez is having a good game. His teammates think very highly of him and his ability to pick. And with 2.2 remaining, Colombia will probably just be content to take the ball in and go to the bench at a 7-try deficit. So at halftime, we will take a 10-minute break for television and commercials and all that stuff.
Here's to a century of growing together and knowing the next 100 can be even better.
Rio's got a flat, I think. Okay. Don't just go to the give and go. Let's run that screen. Let's get some work on that.
I just catch him with my elbows every time because I know it's coming. I just go hit, hit. I'm not clearing out. I'm pushing. So I push.
That's bold. Bold call.
Hey, that's it. I'm there. He's on me.
Tony. I'm calling you over. Turn back, crack, let's go.
And 28-21 for Team Canada after 16 minutes of play. This is great. This is great, Canadians. It's good start that I think it will be quite challenging for the Colombian team to get back. I think Canada found their way, and they will hopefully win their first game at these World Championships. The objective is to complete the Pool A, the round robin, the Pool B, Canada is in Pool B, in the top 4 country of the 6 nations. If they do that, they will qualify for the quarterfinals on Friday. So far, they have a tough pool. We saw the match against Japan yesterday. This morning in Australia yesterday. The Japanese team is undefeated so far in 4 games, so they will be the ones to watch. They are the defending world champion and they are the Paralympic bronze medalist. So having these teams in the same pool, it's not an easy task for Canada. However, Canada, if they win against Colombia, they will be in the 4th position, so that will be enough to qualify. And tomorrow, if they win their game against Brazil, which will happen early morning, overnight in Canada, they will qualify for the quarterfinals. But they will also have a 5th match against the host nation, Denmark, and they are playing quite well, the Danish team, so it will be quite interesting before the quarterfinals. Alors c'est une bonne
Here's to a century of growing together and knowing the next 100 can be even better.
All right, here we go. We are now about to start the second half of game 19, Colombia versus Canada. Canada right now with the lead 28-21. Paola Rodriguez looking to inbound on the sideline. I believe her number is 2. Yeah. Otherwise, you know the cast of characters for Colombia. And on the other side, we see Shane Smith, who's joined us in the game, in the key on the right-hand side, with Trevor Hirschfield next to him, Zach Medell, of course, and on the far end, you have Pico Dagenet rounding out the Canadian lineup. So Orozco looking to score first blood here. Tries to pound it through himself, can't. Rodriguez now has the corner wide open, but Orozco found the other one.
Saw Shane Smith playing earlier. He really adds some energy to Canada's defense. So watch out for that.
Nice job there, just making sure he wasn't going to get stuck at the line. Turned, the defense went away from him, so he was able to cross. Medell saying, ease, slow it down, we're not in a hurry. Shane Smith gets out there and he's ready to go, 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 go. Let's not turn it over at the line. Orozco kind of wants to wait for Rodriguez, but he's not getting out there as fast as he'd like. Neme across, Scott protecting it, Smith swatting at it. And right into the hands of Dagenet. Orozco has his hand on the ball, but the ref is not in a place to see it, and he calls a jump. They always tell us when a low pointer has a ball, swarm him, making sure he can't get it out of his lap, and that's exactly what Orozco did.
Dagenet was doing everything he could there to try and get loose from that from the hand of Roscoe.
He still got the turnover though. He caught the ball, he protected the ball. Even though there was a jump, it just means the possession arrow switches, and Colombia will start the fourth with it, assuming we have no other held ball situations. 30-22, Canada leads. A minute 5 into this third quarter. And Vargas turns back. Now he's going to push. He was looking to pass. Gets over the line. Hirschfield caught the corner of his chair, almost spun him.
They play quite a unique style of defense, Canada. Lots of rotations. They always try and stay in the play. They kind of almost back off to the key a little bit sometimes.
Well, a lot of people will play, they press until you get to half, and that's when they start dropping.
Nice pass ahead there from Shane Smith.
Gosh, Medell makes it look so easy. Why will my body not do that? I got full hands. Well, not full, but I mean, you know, relatively speaking. Orozco. Hit by Smith, pass up to Vargas. Medell meets him, as well as Smith, which means Orozco doesn't have a high pointer on him. And Vargas just needs to be able to turn. He's trying to dribble first. Orozco calling for the ball, but hard to hear with the music on in the stadium. Still playing just down low.
Did really well there, Vargas. Great composure.
And Neme goes toward the try line, gets that one. Colombia patient enough to get that done. And Smith, number 25, tosses it backhand to the referee.
I've noticed about Paula's chair. She's got next to no camber on her wheels, so should make her faster in a straight line, but will make it more difficult for her to turn. Brilliant interception there from Shane.
Hopefully it didn't affect her ability to pass. Quick turnover, interception. For Drew calling it a pick six, but I mean, I understand what he's referring to, but we don't do 6 points in rugby. Neme can't get it out of his lap. He's running into trouble. And timeout called before he released the ball to get to Martinez, and she wasn't able to catch it anyway. But so that was a good timeout, but their final. Canada with 1 floor timeout remaining, but none for Colombia. And now they will move to the other side, which makes sense. They try to inbound from the other side more often than not. You will see a greater quantity of noise coming out of the Colombian fans than there are fans. About 7 out there cheering away. They were loud in that Denmark game. Smith with Dagenet in front of him.
Yeah,
Paulo Martinez tried to stop him, right? Yep. Vargas knew the hit was coming, leaned into it. Smith just tapping away at him, trying to be annoying. Neme is going to try to catch that one. He does. Gets the try. Wow. That's the first time I felt like I was at the perfect angle to make sure he got that. He was kind of coming our direction a little bit, so that was fun to watch.
He really does have some great skills, doesn't he, Neme?
He does.
A one-pointer doing what he does.
But so does the recipient of that pass, Zach Medell. Orozco with the flat. Once again. I wonder if maybe they should look at the sidewalls of his tires.
Looks like we're getting a sub here for Colombia as well. At the next sideline ball. Giovanni Venegas in the subs box.
We got some play time in the last one. I think he was the only sub that they made, in the meaningful minutes of that game. Martinez giving Rodriguez a break here. Rodriguez not looking to come back when Venegas comes in. That pass a little hot. Took an extra bounce as Vargas tried to pull it in, but he able to do it. Making it 35-27. Neither team with timeouts. But Medell doesn't look to need one here. Smith gets the try. Check down to her third receiver. Nice pick there on Dagenet by Rodriguez. And now Paula going deep. Can she get there before Medell? 12 seconds already expired. That ball has to touch something on the other side of the court. Person, the floor, something to give up 12. So we have been called upon to make our pick. Hopefully he'll give us another 4 minutes or so we can think about this. But
yeah, I mean, quarter and a half left to go.
Yeah, they didn't ask us until almost 4 minutes left in the quarter last time, but I think that's because the gentleman who asks us every game wasn't the one who asked. He must have been having lunch or something. So where do you go here?
I mean,
Rodriguez played really well. Medel, of course, is a candidate.
Yeah, I think I don't think I've seen Zach make any mistakes. And you know, he's been his usual self on defense. And I don't think he's had a break either so far, if you can recall.
I am totally fine with that call. I think Medel is a worthy recipient. Not that there aren't others, but certainly a good candidate. We'll keep watching until we get the pressure put on us. Orozco, he's got Venegas up top. Can he get there before Smith, though? Smith is going to hit his chair and make that really difficult.
Gave him a little love tap at the end there, just to let him know that he won that race.
And doesn't have the speed of Vargas. And I'm sure Orozco is used to that pursuit speed, so he sets the ball out there with that intent. Plus, he had Shane Smith getting ready to hit him from behind, and he knew it.
You can just tell Shane's one of those people that loves defending.
Oh, yeah. He loves messing somebody else up.
Yeah.
Look at him right now on top of Venegas. Follow him stride for stride, keeping him out of the play. If his guy never touches the ball, he feels great about it, I'm sure. But now that he's got it, he's reaching in. He got the jump. Venegas shocked. He was able to lift the ball out of his lap. Usually when you get a jump call, it's because the defender has kept the offense from being able to get the ball where he wanted it. Pushed his chair forward, pick it up out of his lap, etc. So Orozco again with that same thing in his mouth. I wonder if it has some flavor on it. Medel making sure that corner is not going to be there. And 4 in the key. Hirschfield steps in, and now he'll step into the penalty box. So Colombia gets one here, gets an opportunity to go at this on the power play. Of course, while he's a great low point player, he is a low point player. If Shane or Zach were off the court, it would probably be a lot easier for Colombia to make this happen. Oh, Tajane almost knocked that one out of the air.
Perhaps you'd expect some subs in the next few minutes or in the fourth quarter to get some of the athletes that haven't played in this game some court time.
Yeah, we're almost at 2.5 minutes left in the third. I expect the fourth quarter to look a little bit different. Smith using his hips to get around Neme, make sure he doesn't get spin or even contacted. Rodriguez with the inbound. Got a long one-hander to Neme, but he wasn't able to keep the stride he wanted to be able to make it all the way, but it's all right. He can turn around. He's halfway there. And it'll be Paula Rodriguez. Or Martinez. I'm sorry. Martinez. I'm not looking at my sheet. That's my fault. Paula Martinez with the try.
Great inbound down the center of the court there from Hirschfield. To his 3-5, Zach Medel. As Zach directs Shane back to the key.
And again, Canada with 4 in the key. They'll give the penalty try to Paula Martinez.
good play that from Venegas. He hit, saw Trevor was close to that, to the top of that key, and he just pushed him in. These tries looking quite easy for Canada at the moment.
Orozco, little juke there. And Martinez opens up that corner for him. She's had some good minutes too. Her inbound's been pretty solid. Setting some good picks. Deme tries to get there. Rightly pulls up instead of spinning Medell. The only thing he could have done there is hurt somebody. You wouldn't have stopped him from getting across. Martinez looking to one hand into Venegas. Good pass over the top of Hirschfield.
Shane with that battle again.
And notice that he doesn't push. He hits, because he can do it with his hips. And Dagenet, instead of taking it across, slows things down. He's thinking about clock management, but fouled as he turned back.
It can't be understated what Canada are doing here.
One of the secrets behind the Danish rugby team. Book your holiday conference now. What's Mushholm? Now I'm intrigued. Medell. Once again, I'm sure that if we had stats on this game, we would see that Medell scored most of the tries. So he's on the court, but he's not going to be allowed to go very far. And Martinez leaves him. Roscoe gonna have a little trouble getting to her. Does. Caught her while she was going backward a little bit. She's protecting that one and gets it out to Venegas.
Did really well. She had 3 players around her there.
Good court awareness, knowing where her guy was, being ready to make that pass. She didn't turn up court. She didn't turn down court. She had sideways toward the wide side of the court. And Colombia now with the ball.
Looked like Zach just took his eye off it a little bit there.
Wow. Did a nice job to pull that one in. Contested. Martinez hanging on to Medell. And Neme waiting at the line for that. 44-33 our score. Martinez get her hands in there as well as Venegas. And it'll be Canada ball. Paulo Martinez separated that ball from Shane Smith. And Venegas couldn't pull it in.
Clever from Shane Smith there. He was caught in the corner, and he actually signaled to Patrick Cortez to
call a bench.
Yeah.
Coach's timeout used to get him out of trouble. They want to make some substitutions anyway, though there's 14 seconds left. So, you know, sending out Green and Lavoie at this point. I think Medell's going to get his first break. Or his first real break. Nope, he's back out there. Medell, Lavoie, Green, number 7.
What you'll often see when people are trying to score last goals is getting a bit more height, a bit more hand function out there. You know, just so that the posts, when they go into the key, they're a little bit more solid. So Fabian's been brought in for just that.
Because if ball's put in his lap or thrown at him, he could catch it with both hands.
Yeah.
Fabian a 3. And a spinal cord injury 3, meaning he's got decent hands. And that'll be the end of the third. 45-33, Canada is the leader currently. Both teams go to the bench. We got 3 minutes here for the teams to do their thing.
Here's to a century of growing together and knowing the next 100 can be even better.
And 45-33 for Team Canada after 3/4. This is very good. It looks like we are going to win our first match at these Wheelchair Rugby World Championships, and it's a good moment. It's a good opportunity now for Team Canada to use a different lineup, new players that haven't had the chance to play much against Australia in the first game and against Japan in that second game. Canada needs to rest Zach Medel, the usual suspect, you know, Trevor Hirschfield, the one that we see on the field quite often because they've been playing a lot of games over the past 48 hours, and there's an additional 2 games tomorrow in the round robin before we get to the finals on Friday. So this is a good window to get some rest on the key players. Alors c'est un excellent troisième quart pour l'équipe canadienne. Il nous reste 8 minutes de jeu, 45-33, et c'est un bon moment pour les entraîneurs de faire une rotation pour donner l'opportunité à certains joueurs qui n'ont pas la chance de jouer régulièrement et de les reposer. Car un athlète comme Zach Medel joue pratiquement 25 minutes par match. Alors, c'est important de conserver ses énergies pour être fin prêt pour les 2 derniers matchs du tournoi préliminaire et bien sûr, les finales, les quarts de finale qui auront lieu dès vendredi. Let's go back to the court. 10 more seconds for the final quarter and we will get back with more comments towards the end of the game.
Poorly, did it? I thought Colombia were
No,
really
I don't
good.
think so at all. At first, I thought that Denmark had eased up the throttle from the get-go. Like they weren't putting out their best line, thinking, you know we can win this, so we're just going to kind of give guys some minutes, artificially add pressure by not putting out my best possible line.
Yeah.
But Denmark certainly looked like they were giving it their all.
And Zach's getting a breather. So Zach Medel off.
That's okay. We're not going to change our vote now.
The 2 3-pointers for Canada are on in Mike Whitehead and Fabien Lavoie.
Matt Debley sitting up there at the top of the bench, hoping he gets his minutes in. I think they'll probably call his number at some point. Matt, one of my newest teammates. I guess technically my second newest because Aoki came later, but looking forward to playing with him.
This has got to be one of the most experienced international lines I could think of with Canada, with Whitehead, Lavoie, Hirschfield, and Dagenet. They must have some tournaments between those 4.
Oh yeah.
All 4 of them were playing in their national team before I even saw this game start.
That's funny. I've played against all these guys too in various situations. Whitehead plays in the U.S. I've played in some tournaments in Canada, and they do like a pickup tournament every once in a while too, where you go up and they just basically try and make the teams even, and then you play with that team all weekend. It's super fun.
Just a bit of a mix and match kind of thing.
Yeah. So, you know, you get a bunch of people who show up. Somebody sits around and says, well, if you put these guys together and these guys together, we should probably have some close matches. And they're usually pretty good at it. Wilsey and Hickling.
Do they still play it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Wilsey will be 55 next year, which means he can bring an extra point onto the floor with him.
I can imagine he still moves in his chair.
Oh, yeah. You know, I mean, is he as fast as he was when he was 25? Probably not. But he's a workhorse. He's one of those guys that, you know, he's just not ever going to give up. And it's not that he's not fast, but he's also not training the way he was for the Paralympics and World Championships and all the other major events. So, I mean, he can still kick my butt. I don't know, that says a lot.
Giving those shoulders a break, I guess, doing a little bit less training.
Well, you know, at some point the grind gets to be too much. You know how it is, right?
Yeah.
Taking a little time off. I mean, if you go back when you're ready to go back, you know what you're signing up for, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these young guys, they have no idea what they're signing up for. And then once they're in it, it's like, okay, now I got to decide, am I really in it? Because I don't just have to do this for a couple of months. I got to do this for a couple of years if I'm going to be on my game when I get to Denmark or Paris or whatever comes next. So,
I mean, I trained at the elite level for about 10 years, and yeah, I was in and out strapping, having to do loads of work with resistance bands to stop niggles and things like that. And yeah, it's hard work for these guys. You know, it's not an easy life. They have to put in this is the fun part of it, but they have to put in the hard grind at home.
Yeah, you know, I made the mistake of asking Adam Scaturo what he does for a living. He says this. I said, yeah, but you're retiring. What are you going to do when you're done? So he really enjoys coaching.
Right.
So like he'll start with kids, I don't know, 7-year-olds or whatever, and he will work all the way up until they get to high school with that same group of guys. So he'll develop them as players, and then he'll start with a whole new set when they get to the top. And he really likes doing that. He hasn't been able to do it recently because he knew he was going to retire. So yeah, I'll be sad to see Adam go, but he's not going away from the sport. He's going to continue to coach. He's going to continue to play in the U.S. Class act. It's funny, the other day, I don't know where I heard it, but somebody said something about maybe Fabien Lavoie this might be his last one. And so I went up to him like, so are you retiring or what? And he's like, yeah, how are you? I'm good. I didn't mean to assault him, but I felt like if I talked to Adam about, giving him a send-off, right? You know what I mean? Talking about him in his last game, and if Lavoie was going to be leaving, I wanted to do the same thing for him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't sound like he's going anywhere, so. But I think he thought, I don't know, I was looking to stir something up or something.
Pushing well there, Lavoie.
Yep.
It's a great pushing technique, especially when he's going in a straight line.
He's still got some years left in him if he wants to, for sure. Oh, and now we got a flat tire.
Oh, what a brilliant reach.
Popped out. You see Hirschfield just reached back and picked his pocket. So he didn't call equipment, even though he has a flat.
Yeah.
Orozco crossed the line without the ball. So in my mind, he's out of bounds. That's a turnover.
sneaky reach, wasn't it? I think he was actually facing the wrong way.
He's really good at that. A lot of times he will, and I think he learned this from Wilsey, because Wilsey used to do it to me all the time. He knows I'm turning back around, so he'll spin his chair, and as I come around, he'll pop it out on my way back. Right? So if you came around this way, boom, gone. And he would knock it out of my lap all the time. It drove me insane. But I learned. He has more trouble doing it to me now, or maybe he just doesn't do it as often because he knows I know better. But yeah, it's a good move. And at Hirschfield, you see him do it all the time. A guy will be coming by him, and instead of turning his chair, he'll just get his hand out there and try and pop that ball out. And it works sometimes. It only has to work a couple of times to make it worthwhile, especially when you're in a game that's neck and neck.
I remember in our game plan meetings, if we were playing Canada, we'd have 4 or 5 things that we would try and do or not do, kind of thing.
Sure.
And, you know, one of those was always no reaches from Trevor, and also Mike Whitehead. And then we'd see the stats on those after the game, so we'd have to answer for it basically.
Sure. Well, they're a very reachy team. They've always been a very reachy team. You know, Whitehead is one of them.
And invariably, if you do well on those stats, like generally your offensive percentage goes up.
Venegas got hit in the eye. Ref didn't call anything, and he went for a second to his eye to try and figure out what was going on. Then he just made the pass. But now you see him, it's like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm okay. I don't remember who it was that got him as he went reaching for the ball, but Venegas getting his own reach in there.
Yeah.
Lavoie showing he belongs there. Nice move.
Yeah.
Spun Vargas around twice. And he drew the Roscoe assignment. And quick enough to do so. Vargas.
Good defense from Canada. Great passer from Vargas to Venegas, and then he returns the favor.
Mongua, number 14, out there setting picks. .332 left in the game, 54-40 our score. Whitehead going to take this one down. Sorry, I can't help myself. They're certainly going back to the 80s for a lot of these tunes. So at 55-40 with 3.5 minutes, Canada drops back in the key. And we got another game coming up here afterward. This one will be at 7:15. It's New Zealand, United States. United States licking their wounds from that France loss. Probably planning to take it out on New Zealand.
Yeah, you don't want to be playing USA, do you? After they've lost the game.
After that kind of loss, no, they're out to show that was a mistake. Whitehead in the box. I'm guessing that was a reach.
It was 4 in the key.
Oh, really? Okay. They've had quite a few 4 in the keys this game. That's unlike Canada. It's not something that's not the kind of mistake they generally make, especially in a game where they've got it handily held. But you know, they're practicing their defense at all times, just like everybody else. Other game going on right now is Australia, Denmark, happening in the other court, which may or may not be really interesting based on the things we've seen prior.
Yeah, I'll be interested to find out the result of that one. Both teams playing some great rugby. Canada looking set to pick up their first win here.
Lavoie at the corner. And making substitutions again is Colombia. Is that Gonzalez? No, it's 13. Hurtado, Elio Hurtado, making his first appearance on the court. At least in this one. Obviously, I haven't seen every Colombian game, I don't think. Maybe.
Getting near that halfway line. He's done well there to get away from Whitehead.
And Vegas gets it up to Vargas. Nope.
Mechanic.
He's on his frame. That was amazing. He was just balancing there on his picker.
You know, I've seen that once before, and the player got called for a mechanical advantage.
Well, you're not. Once your chair touches the floor, you'll turn it over because, mechanical advantage, right?
But I suppose he'd released the ball, hadn't he?
He did not have the ball, so he can't be called for mechanical. It's just like when a guy is holding himself up, but he doesn't have the ball.
Yeah.
If he rights himself, then yes. Righting yourself, from a fall, that would be mechanical advantage, even if you don't have the ball.
Good speed there from Vargas.
Wow. Protecting the ball. God, I wish I could lean over the ball like those guys do. It's part of the problem is it's always out there on a platter and there's no way I can protect it.
They can almost protect it with their faces, can't they?
Yeah, or their bellies if, like me. But again, I can't get my belly out over the top of it, so it does not help.
Good defense there from Whitehead.
Oh, off the back there, Hurtado. Hurtado. Three big Canadian flags up on the wall in the back there. And the Colombian fans not nearly as enthused as they were in the last one because their team's pretty much out of this one with 1:03 remaining, 60-45. 15 tries is a lot to make up. 1 minute is not enough time. So Whitehead has Lavoie. No look passes to him. And Lavoie will take that one by himself, beating Venegas.
With Dagenet tipping over there. Looks quite comfy from our position here. Take a little rest.
It's funny, that guy comes out with the mop and he looked like he was the sweeping for curling, the way he was going back and forth. I wonder if he does that on the side. I went curling for the first time a couple of weeks ago. My office had a party at a place that does curling, axe throwing, and football bowling, of all things.
Yeah. So is it curling on ice? Or was it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I use a stick, because I can't get down there and slide with the, what do they call the stones? I don't remember.
33 seconds left, and I'm sure Canada will be trying to score just the one goal.
Whitehead turns pretty quick for a guy with legs. He's got his feet tucked way under there.
Lavoie being helped out by his bench, giving him the count. Ooh. Tried to push Dagenet out there before Whitehead scored, but unsuccessful.
Despite the fact that I never, ever implied that Wilsey is slow, he is never going to let me live it down that I didn't say he was fast. It's not that he's not fast, but I know he's never going to let me live it down.
Backtracking.
Well, I referred to him a couple of times as being older, and he didn't like that. I think his mom had some words for me. So Canada showing their prowess here, 62-46, defeats Colombia handily. They both are done for the day. Canada has Brazil tomorrow and Denmark. And Colombia has Australia tomorrow. Whew, there's a big game for your last one. And now we will hear Man of the Match.
Wow, look at this.
Presented by our tiniest Canadian player. She is so cute.
This is the player from Canada with 33, Zach Medell.
That's really cute, that is. Canada's youngest fan may be here, I don't know. Getting to high-five his hero.
Awesome. So that's our game. We got one more here, New Zealand, United States. It's coming up in a little bit. It's going to be at 7:15. Time currently 6:30, so we got about 45 minutes. On the other court, Australia and Denmark are still in action.
And 62-46, their first win for Team Canada. And this is going to make the difference for a qualification to the quarterfinals. Tomorrow, 2 more games for Canada. They will play at 10 a.m. local time, which is 4 a.m. Eastern time or 1 a.m. Pacific. And the second match, tomorrow, which will be the last game of the round-robin tournament, will happen later in the evening here, local time, against the host nation, the Danish team. It will be live on CBC Sport and on Canadian Paralympic Committee's webpage on Facebook at noon Eastern time. And we have the great privilege to have with us Zach Medell, the player of the day, and also the performance of the day. Hello, Zach, come in. Come right in the middle. I'm not going to be it. There you are. Zach, this game was an important one for Team Canada. How did it go?
We're much happier with this result than we have been the last 2. I mean, losing those first 2 means the next ones are a lot more important. And so the tournament's not over for us. We're not going to dwell on those first 2. And I think we came out a lot more fired up this game, got the job done. And we're going to use this momentum moving forward, hopefully, to make a long push into this tournament.
Where do you find the energy? You play most minutes of Team Canada. You made a difference in this game, and this is the reason why you were nominated the player of the game.
That's why we train. I mean, you never know if you're going to get called on to play a full 32 minutes. So you show up ready to do whatever the team needs you to. We're fortunate everybody got a break there, so we'll have more energy for tomorrow. 2 more big games. And we've got a very deep bench as well, knowing that we can give everybody a little bit of a rest. I think we'll go into the games moving forward with a lot more energy.
And the plan for tomorrow, another back-to-back, Brazil and the host nation, Denmark. What is the plan?
First, go back, get some rest tonight, make sure the bodies are ready for 2 more games tomorrow, get some sleep. And then same thing. I think we came out with a lot of energy early in this game. And if we can, I think, do the same things we did against Colombia today, they're fairly similar teams. I think we're looking forward to some success tomorrow. And then after that one, getting ready for Denmark, another very tough team. So same thing between making sure we're getting our bodies ready, trying to refuel as much as we can, and coming out to put on a show for the home fans.
Well, congratulations, Zach. Get some rest, and we will see you again tomorrow. So this is it, friends, for the show live. We will see you again tomorrow. And Canada and Zach's team will be playing against Brazil at 10 a.m. local time, which is 4 a.m. Eastern time or 1 a.m. Pacific. And also later in the evening, that will be live on CBC Sport and on the Canadian Paralympic Committee's Facebook page at noon Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific. Bye for now. This is Benoit Huot. You're watching the Paralympic Super Series presented by Canadian Tire Sport Analytics. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Rio's got a flat, I think. Okay.
Don't just go to the give and go. Let's run that screen. Let's get some work on that.
I just catch him with my elbows every time because I know it's coming. I just go hit, hit. I'm not clearing out. I'm pushing. It's our push.
That's bold. Bold call.
He's on me.
Tony! I'm calling you over. Turn back, crack. Let's go.
Here's to a century of growing together and knowing the next 100 can be even better.